A very good evening to you who is watching Church of Uganda Family TV. It's a pleasure each time we know that you are right there watching us. This is Health Thought, your number one health informing program, only on Church of Uganda Family TV. Now, Health Thought is a program brought to you by Church of Uganda Family TV in partnership with Mukalazi University School of Public Health. This program is centered around maternal and child health, early childhood development, but most importantly, we also look at the other public health concerns. Now, the whole of this period, we are dwelling much on early childhood development, and some of the things that we are looking at are things that are related to how you as a parent try to create a relationship with your children so that we run away from issues to do with child neglect and a lot of issues to do with children as they grow up. And we are delighted to have a team from Change Development Initiative, an organization that is centered in Luweero, doing a lot of transformational work in Luweero, but we felt it important to bring them on this show so that they can share with us the transformational messages that they use to change the lives of the people in Luweero, so that even you who is not in Luweero or Nakaseke can benefit out of this. Now, we've looked at quite a number, so today we are back again with another sensitive topic, which is bonding and attachment. Wow. As a parent, as a caregiver, it is important that you have that bond with your children. But how do you create it? Why is it even necessary? It is the reason we have Aber Proscovia, who is a programs officer at Change Development Initiative. Proscovia,
Yes.
you're most welcome. I believe someone who has been following this series is not seeing you for the first time, but we also agree that we have people who are watching you for the first time. Kindly greet them.
Okay. Thank you, moderator, for the time that you've given me, and thank you for welcoming me at Church of Uganda Family TV. I greet everyone who is watching us wherever you are and everyone who is listening to us. My name is Aber Proscovia from Change Development Initiatives, and I'm the Programs Officer Education.
Programs Officer Education. So we want to look at bonding and attachment, but we start by breaking it down so that someone who is watching us can really get familiar with the terms that we are using, bonding and attachment. How can you break them down? How can you define them?
Okay, bonding and attachment. Yes, there are two words.
Yes.
Bonding is like how you build the relationship with the child, that the child who is born, a younger baby. Because as a mother who has given birth to a younger baby, he has to make sure that at least that baby, at least he bonds with that baby. Bonding like giving the baby breast milk, playing with the baby, buying for the baby clothes, like doing those things that can make the baby to be very happy. That's you are bonding with your baby. Then attachment is how you attach certain things with your baby, like maybe playing with your baby, attaching with your baby, like teaching your baby morals in the society that a baby should follow. Because we know that it is us, the children that we give birth to, they learn from us, the parents. So what we show the children is also what they will take. So when we start teaching them morals when they're still young, that is what they will take in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a parent out there, it is important that you have this relationship with your child. It might be a little hard for you to instill in your child something that you did not start when they were early. So it is better that all this process starts at a tender age when you still have a chance to cause change in your child's life. Now, why do you think bonding and attachment, why do you think it is important that parents have that relationship with their children?
Yeah, it's very important. By the way, this bonding is not only between a parent and a child, but it's also between husband and wife at home. Because if husband and wife at home you are not connected, like there cannot be bonding at all. There can be violence at home. So you also partners at home, you need to bond together. Like you share ideas together. You believe in each other, you trust each other, you do everything together as a family. So in bonding and attachment, it is not all about children, but even as the parents at home, we also need to bond.
Because it starts with the parents,
Yes.
you're the role models.
Yes.
What the children see you do is what they will also do.
Exactly. So bonding is even as the parent. So the reason that's why we teach our participants on bonding, because when you go outside there, we give our participants also participate. Like you as a teacher, you don't say everything. They also have to participate. So the reason that's why you bring this bonding and attachment, or the reason that's why we conduct this session, bonding and attachment, because in bonding there are certain sessions, but the reason that's why you conduct them, we want to strengthen family relationships. Starting with, because if husband and wife are as one in a family, even the children are going to copy from what? From our parents. So we want to strengthen our family relationship and also improve on their relationships. To strengthen and also improve family relationships in the different families where we come from. Because all of us in different families, we have our beliefs, we have the customs we follow, we are from different cultures, so everything is different. So in bonding attachment, we want to strengthen families. We also want to encourage parents to understand more about bonding and attachment, because I think you've ever heard, there are some parents, they give birth to a baby, you hear that like the baby is only 1 month, because the man refused to give us some money to take care of the baby. You can take the baby back to the baby, say, me, I don't produce, you refuse to give me money, so take care of your only baby. She's a mother, she spent 9 months with that baby, now she has given birth, maybe even she has thrown the baby in the toilet. Yeah? That is very bad. So,
when I was growing up, I remember that there was a route we used to take as a shortcut to school.
Yes.
And those cases were very many. At least in a month, you would find 3 or 4 babies that have been dumped within that footpath. So those who were still alive would be helped by Samaritans, and then those who were dead would be, it was really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So because bonding and attachment is our first module. That is when you give birth to a child. Then you go to discipline. You are disciplining a child. Then another thing, it just follows like that. So in bonding, we teach our participants how they can take good care of their children, how they can build a relationship. Because another reason that's why we want to teach our participants about bonding and attachment is that we want to improve parenting and the child relationship. It is not only the parents who takes care of the child, but there are also some caretakers who takes care of children. So you want to improve the relationship, because if you bond with the child that you are having, even in the future when this child grows up, he will always remember you for what you did for her or him in his life. Because there are some children who are picked on the way, then they are being adopted by other people. And if you start taking care of a child, maybe when he's 5 months, because 5 months he doesn't know that this is my mother, this is but the relationship with you built with that child, it's what makes that child to love you the more, because he's seeing you as the parent. What you show that child is what that child will also show to the others. That is what that child will also do in the future when he grows up. So that's the reason why you bring out bonding and attachment, to strengthen family relationships and also to improve the relationships in the family. Yeah? Yes, and also I say to improve parenting or caregiver child relationships, because there are other children who are left with the auntie or jaja at home to take care of them. Because in this world in which we are, people are working, very many ladies are working, and sometimes they cannot go with their babies to work. So they need to get caretakers who can take care of them at home. So the relationship the caretaker puts with that baby, it is of great importance.
Okay.
Yeah.
In all this, what do you intend to achieve when you're carrying out these modules?
So, at the end of the session, or at the end of this module, bonding and attachment, at the end, we want to see that there is improved the relationships between the partners at home. Improved. We need to see there is improved the relationship. Okay. And we want to see parent-child interactions. Because some families, they don't even have time to interact with their children. True. They don't have time to ask their children what they are going through. So when you are carrying out this session, bonding and attachment, at least we tell parents to spare some time for their children. Because as parents, you need also to play together with your child. Yes? Because play can build a child's brain. So as parents, you need to spare time for your child. We also need to see that there is the parental provisions of children's needs. Yes? Parental provision of children's needs, because we know children, they are of different stages, developmental stages, and a child from 0 to 5 years, it does his needs are different from this one who is from 15 years to 20 years. Yes. They are very different. And there are some children, maybe they are in 15 years or 10 years, and the parents cannot provide them what they need. Yeah. Yes, so we teach our participants that you should do, the children that you are taking care of, make sure that you have to know that you have to provide for them whatever they need in the different stages they are in, especially the girls. Because girls, there is a lot of things that they need in life. True. Yes. So we need to improve the parent-child relationships in the homes that we are in. And also, we need to improve the communication between parents and the children, and even maybe the relatives at home, and even the neighbors. So we need to see that improved relationship amongst all those people. Because when your parent is not there, the next neighbor is the one who is going to help you. Exactly. Yes. So we need to see those interactions between the different people. Okay. Yes. So having given us a preamble of bonding and attachment, now someone out there would really be wondering how you carry out this methodology or this module. So what is involved in bonding and attachment when you go out in the field to speak to the people out there, so that even someone watching us can benefit from how you take on this module? Okay. As I said, in bonding and attachment, we have there are 5 sessions in bonding and attachment. And the first session that I can talk about is climate setting. Because we say this bonding and attachment is the what? Is the first module, is the first session, is the first module among the 5 modules that we have. Yes. So as we start with our modules, there is climate setting, we bring the people together. To those participants who have come, they have to know each other, they tell a number of children they have, things like that. That is what climate settings, and the setting rules and regulations that we are going to follow during our sessions. We do it in climate setting. That is the first session. Then the second session is about 50 years and then 3 months. 50 years, 3 months. This is so interesting. Yes. When we talk about 50 years, because when we are carrying out these sessions, I said we don't do it ourselves only. We need to involve our participants. So when we are outside there are certain questions that we pose to our participants. So in these 50 years and 3 months, the importance of teaching 50 years and 3 months is to value relationships among the spouses at home. Okay. Valuing relationships. Because one of the questions that you can ask in these 50 years and then 3 months, in 50 years you can ask the participant, in case God gives you more 50 years, and in the 50 years you have everything that you need, He has given you money to do anything that you want, what will you do in the 50 years? So, most of the participants, what they tell us in the 50 years, someone can say, I take my children to good schools. The other say, I marry. Another one will say, I start a big business. So this goes out to someone watching us. In the 50 years, if God ever grants you more 50 years from what you have, what would you do with the 50 years? You have the answer now. What would you do? Will you be the one who wants to marry?
Would you be the one who wants to do all those fantasies that are running out your mind? But thank you so much, you who is watching us. And if you've just joined in, we are looking at bonding and attachment, which is one of the modules under parenting for respectability. Earlier we discussed parenting for respectability, and today we are breaking down these modules, and one of them is bonding and attachment. Edrine Austin Mukalazi is my name. We are with Aber Proscovia, who is the programs officer in charge of education, and she's educating us, especially you, the parent out there, and you, a family head who has no relationship, who has no bonding. Yeah, this is yours. And you who is intending to have a family like Shama, you who is intending to have children, this is your message. Now, after climate setting and after 50 years and 3 months, where do we go? People are following. So whatever you're saying, I don't know how much it takes you to carry on this, but people are following and they're answering themselves as, and they're even checking. They're doing a quality check.
Yes, I was still talking about 50 years.
Yes.
And I said he posed a question, what would you do if God grants you more 50 years, and in the 50 years God has given you money? So what would you do in that money? I said most people say, I start up a business, I construct a school, I take my children to good schools, things like that in 50 years. Then you also ask, what if God tells you, you are remaining with only 3 months to leave this world? What will you do? When people are responding to that, you see people, they say, wow, only 3 months. Then one person will say, in 3 months, I'll write a will. In 3 months. Another will say, in 3 months, I'll collect all my children and I repent before them everything that I did. In that 3 months. In that 3 months, I'll ask God to forgive me all the things that I have done in that 3 months. So then after we pose a question, then you say, what is the difference between 50 years and then 3 months? Then one person will say, in 3 months, a person is near his relatives, because say, I'll collect my children and repent before them. I'll write a will and leave it. Like that is showing them your things in that 3 months. In the 3 months, I'll repent to God for whatever that I've done. But if you look at the 50 years, said, I'll construct a school. In the 50 years, there is no repenting, there is no bringing family members close. Yes, there is nothing like that. So then at the end of the session, we can tell our participants that it is better we live in the 3 months, not in the 50 years. Because in the 50 years, you see, there is a lot of time to do whatever that you want. But in the 3 months, you are seeing that at least you have to do it there and then, because there is no time. There is no any other time. So like now in our in our relationships, in the different families where we come from, so it means that we need to value our family members, all the relatives that we are living with them. Because in 50 years, there's no valuing family members. But in that 3 months, there is writing a will, which is going to remain for the family members.
Yes.
In the 3 months, there is sitting down my children and then the husband, and then I talk to them. If I wronged them, I also confess before them. I go when I am pure. Yes, that is in the 3 months. So we tell our participants, let us live in the 3 months, not in the 50 years. Because in the 50 years, you can be so reluctant, you don't even want to listen to your partner.
You think you have a lot of time.
Yes, you think you have a lot of time. But in the 3 months, you feel you want to be close to your partner each and every time. You want to be close to your children. There is a relationship built in the 3 months. Yes? So we encourage our partners to let us live in the 3 months. So that is the second session.
Okay.
That is the second session. Then we have a third session. That third session, that is it's called My Mother's Legacy or Father's Legacy. Mother's legacy, father's legacy. When I say mother's legacy, these are the experiences which you went through when you were with your mother or father or any other caretaker who was with you. Yes? these experiences may be negative or positive. Because remember, I said what you do to your child today, that is what your child will do tomorrow.
Do you use these as demonstrations?
Yes, we use this as demonstrations. So my mother's legacy. Wow.
My mother's legacy is actually here.
Yes, my father's legacy.
I can see in the first one, father is carrying a baby, mother is also, I think they're going to church because I see one daughter carrying a Bible. And then here they're having food together. Then here they're doing family work.
See what the man is doing and then see what the lady is doing. So when we go with these teaching aids to our participants, we ask them, do you see what is happening in the picture? Yes, they can tell us. Then we ask them, does such things happen in your different families? Others will tell me, that is a story. Say, that is a story. You tell my husband to go and fetch water. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, so my mother's legacy, father's legacy. So I said in my mother's legacy and father's legacy, I said those are the experiences you went through with your parents or guardians. So I say it can be positive or negative. And those negative, if it is positive, you always want your children, you also want to make your children to go through the same. So if it was negative, you feel like you don't want what? You don't want your children to go through the same.
Yes. Because
when we are conducting this session, my mother's legacy and father's legacy, I said we give participants time to tell us what they went through. To share their experiences. Okay. So in the process of sharing experiences, others can break in tears because of what they went through. The life that they went through with their baby stepmother or even their granddie or even their mother, what they went through. Because others can tell you, I was staying with my stepfather, but my stepfather could use me. But he said, if you ever say anything, I am going to kill you and even send you out of this home. And you feel like you don't want to move away from that home. So whatever he does to you, you just have to keep quiet. Yes? So because one of these participants told us that for her mother used to go out of the marriage, then come back. Go out of the marriage and then come back. So they went through a life which was not good. So this lady told us, me in my life, I don't even want to send one day my child to the auntie, to the uncle, or any other relative. Because what she went through, she doesn't want the children to go through the same thing. Okay. That is my mother's legacy and father's legacy.
So after reflecting on the legacy, what do we go to?
Sorry.
After someone they have now reflected on the legacy, my mother's legacy, I look at what my mother used to do, and if it is positive, do you advise me to pick it on and continue with it, or there are new things that you introduce?
If they were positive, and you see they are positive, we encourage our participants to do the same to their children, if it is positive. And if it is negative, we tell them that you should find ways of controlling it not to happen to your children. Because in other families, like some parents, they abuse and even the neighbors know that, wow, if you want someone to abuse, I can call for you mama someone to come and abuse for you. So you see, even this child is going to grow up when she's abusive, the words that she passes out at you, because that's what they saw. If in a home, a child grew up in a home where there's violence, even this boy, when he grows up, he will also do violence to the wife at home, because he saw the father could beat the mother, could kick her, even chase her out of the home. So when we are with our participants, we tell them what you went through which was bad, please don't practice it to your wife or to the children that you have. At least make them to grow in a life which is a happy life, a life which is not going to endanger them, that a life which is going to make them happy as children. So that is mother's legacy. We tell them to do the positive things, not negative things. Yes. So another session we look at my child of 20 years or under my child of 20 years. We look at children's needs.
My child of 20 years.
Yes.
We we need to see my child of 20 years.
My child of 20 years. My child of 20 years, because this is bonding and attachment. We said you cannot bond with your child when she's already 20 years. You start bonding with your child when he's still young.
That is why I see a baby, and all these ones are young.
Yes. So you start bonding with your children when they are still young.
Okay.
When they are still young. That is when you can even get time to play together with them. Because in the picture we are seeing the parents are having good time with their children, playing it together.
And you see both the parents around. The mother is around, the father is around, and the children.
Yes, they are all around. So in my child in the 20 years, my child in 20 years, it said you cannot bond with your child when it's already 20 years. Bonding this starts when a child is still very young. That is being close to your child. Then still in that session, we also look at different needs of children in different developmental stages. Needs of children. The need of this baby is not the need of this boy. And the needs of this girl is not the needs of this girl. They are different. The needs of children in different developmental stages. So during our sessions, we also encourage our parents, our participants, like especially the men, they should sometimes allow their women to work, because there are some men who don't even allow their women to work. And sometimes a girl might find it hard to approach the father to tell us certain things. So it is the mother who is supposed to provide for that girl what she has asked for. So that is why it is very important for the women also to do what? Also to be when at least they have some money to provide for what? For their children. Because during our discussions, some other men, they can say, but me, I am a man. I cannot just sit there and then I talk with my wife. No, it can't be.
So, Proscovia, the men are watching. Time is actually running out. But as we wind up this discussion, I believe someone has picked out the most important messages when it comes to bonding and attachment. So, reflecting on the success stories that you've had from your communities, the communities you reach out to in Luweero and Nakaseke, what are your closing remarks?
Okay, my closing remarks. What I can tell the viewers is like our sessions are very good, and you've got success stories out of the sessions. Yes, because it reached a time whereby some parents they didn't know how to bond with their children. In fact, they saw that just even playing with a child that is childish. How can I play with a child? They said it cannot happen. But if you get some time and you play with your child, that is very important, because you are building the brain of your child. So parents outside there, I can encourage you, let us bond with our children. And I said bonding start when the child is still very young. Very young. We start bonding with them when they are still very young. So I encourage you to bond with your children, not only children, I said, and the spouses at home, husband and wife. Because if husbands and wife don't connect, there cannot be bonding at home, and there will be problems each and every time. And you remember, when a child gets sick, it is the mother to take care, because you don't even talk as spouses at home. So what next? So the man will just say, those are your children. You just see what you can do for them. Don't tell me those things. Yes. So among the spouses, we also need to bond. We need to build our relationship. Those are the things that we've been going through, which you see that does not take us to develop our families. We should let them go, and then because after this session, you have seen people's minds being opened up. Yes, they start doing the things that they have never done.
Like the ones watching us today.
Sorry.
Like the ones watching us today.
Yes. So I encourage them to always do the different things that they have never done, because if you've never had time to sit down your children, then you talk to them, that is very dangerous. We need to talk to our children each and every time, because sometimes they can be fearing to come to us. But for you as a parent, if you sit them down, then it's okay, today is a day for discussing only things at home. Yes, children can open up. Yes, they can open up. So that is what I can tell the parents outside there.
Thank you so much, Proscovia. It's been a pleasure having you on this show again. And greetings to the entire staff of CDI. It's been a pleasure. Each time you send a representative here to share with us such important messages in line with early childhood development. Thank you so much, you who is watching HealthPort and Church of Uganda Family TV. This
Maybe before you also
is,
conclude, I also need to first send my greetings
oh,
to our Executive Director, Mr. Kasole Steven, and also my children. I have 2 daughters. That
Okay.
is Agenarot Jemima and then Amarot Michelle. I also send
Okay.
my greetings to them, and I also want to thank CTPR. It's also found at Makerere. They are one of the developers of this module,
Okay.
Parenting for Respectability. So I send my greeting to CTPR, especially Madame Carol. I send my greetings to her and everyone who is watching us. By the may God bless you abundantly as you continue to watch us.
Amen. This program is brought to you by Makerere University School of Public Health in partnership with Church of Uganda Family TV. We meet again, same time, same station.